Hey everybody, this is some new respiratory Flux, call me Flux for short, or whatever you want to call me. And in the last episode, we got stuff. No, stop. I didn't want to. Anyway. In the last episode, we got stuff. In this episode, we're going to get more stuff. Let's do that. So. That was my intros are terrible. I'm just gonna have to recognize that. I think first we're going to head to. Well, we're going to go to the Chozo ruins. There's actually one specific place I want to go there now that we can actually finally do. And then we'll go to Magmore and Phendrana and see what we can find there. Okay, doors really like to do that. They like to open and then decide that I'm too far away and close again. And it kind of bothers me when that happens. We've done everything in there, I believe. Oh. There's one thing we can do once we get to where I think we need to. In here. I'm being very descriptive, non-descriptive. And, yeah. Grapple point is too far away to use. You can actually jump to it so it's close enough to use, but for some reason it just disconnected, so I think I'm going to go the long way around. That's actually kind of where I was trying to go anyway. Believe it or not, that actually kind of led into what I was trying to do before I noticed that. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of burnt out on rambling because that tangent last time got kind of a rant by the end of it, and like I said, I don't like ranting. But yeah, it's like I tend to be more positive. Okay. I really do kind of like where I was headed with that, but I'm actually aware this is where I was going. Now we have our Grapple Beam, we can cross here. And it doesn't specifically say it. We could scan, but I don't need to take the time. That wall can be destroyed by a power bomb. And that gives us our first power bomb expansion. Basically, each expansion is only one power bomb, but that's significant enough. And a new Chozo lore, which I think might be the last. Chozo script translated. The power of our temple has been enough to halt the spread of the poison on Talon 4, but that which remains thrives and grows more concentrated, gnawing on itself in the dark passages beneath the planet's surface. Whether it can ever be truly destroyed is not for our eyes to see. But there is something else. We Chozo are drifting, tumbling through space and time as the great poison eats away at our sanity. We wake in dreams. As the veil of lunacy descends, as past and future blend and shuffle, one image appears and flickers through the landscape wraith-like. It is the hatchling, the newborn, walking the path of corruption, a lone figure shining in the toxic shadows. She comes dressed for war, and her wrath is terrible. Do our eyes look backward, seeing the hatchling as she once was? Or does she approach even now, arriving in our race's last hour, a savior clothed in machines crafted long ago by Chozo hands? Poisonous clouds drift across our vision. And on that note, we can finally go to this corner of the map, through here. which of course makes us fight Chozo ghosts, but that's not too much to worry about because we have the means to do that. Looks like only a couple of super missiles are needed to really dispose of them, so save my ammunition a bit on that one by just doing that. And you could see there what we're going to try and get in this room. And you can also see that it probably involves the boost ball. Well, it definitely involves the boost ball. There's some bomb slots here. I think yeah, that's the one that gives us the energy tank. There's only, I think, 2 more that'll fit in that line. Okay. I didn't mean to lower that, but what I did mean to do was to reach that bomb slot, which actually has a permanent effect of opening the way out of the room. Now this passageway, there's a lot of machinery happening here, obviously. But basically we just need to make our way through these pistons. I think this is even called the Piston Hall, or something like that. Piston Tunnel? Yes, Piston Tunnel. That door will just open after a time anyway. And this leads us right back out to here, where we can actually reach this grapple beam point and swing across to a missile expansion. If I'd fallen, that would have kind of been terrible. Okay. Now let me check my map. I don't think there's anything else we can do over here. Any of these places, I don't think there's anything else new to do. This is the only part of the ruins that I think there's even anything left to do. Could do something here, I know. I think. But I think what I'm going to do is just take this short way over to Magmore Caverns, because I know there's stuff to do there. I'll probably speed us up, because if we just keep going through this path here over and over, and there's really nothing new about it ever, because we've done everything here. I'm pretty sure. But at this point, it's just hallways and passageways to take up space and serve as a way to get through to the rest of the game. So, yeah. We're already pretty much most of the way, sort of, there. So, yeah, I guess I tend to see myself as a positive person. I can't always be positive, but I generally, I don't know. There's very few things that I watch that I dislike. Watch or read or listen to, I guess. Sir, that didn't need to happen. But I guess that's just me being me. I just don't usually see the point of complaining about things, because that's just not what my mindset is built for doing. I don't complain about things. I just kind of take things as they happen and I don't really give a shit, to be perfectly honest. It's maybe not the most useful way of looking at life, but I guess it's good to be relaxed about things, personally, is the way I see it. Because people get all worked up over nothing all the time, and it's kind of dumb. Okay. Here's the point where we actually are needed to do something. Now we actually have the Grapple Beam, we can go through, do that. But we have our X-ray visor, and we can see an artifact there. And if we try to scan the pillar, nothing happens. But what that doesn't tell you, a super missile will shatter it, so we could have gotten this artifact anytime we had super missiles. But because we didn't have the scan, I didn't pick it up. I guess that's just how I do, generally. The artifact nature, the 8th of 12. So we're missing the third one. Then we have 9, 10, 11, and 12. The 12th one we don't have the scan for yet. That's interesting to me. Is it interesting to you? I don't know. But what I do know is that that grapple point is almost kinda useless. Almost kinda. Anyway. There's really not too many more items you can get in the game. There's a few, but for the most part, we have what we're going to be needing to really kind of pick up a lot of things. And a lot of the... I guess we're actually not that far from the end of the game. Sort of. We kind of are, we kind of aren't. But anyway. If you go here, you can actually kind of see that. And I feel like this is the same kind of thing. It doesn't actually tell you, but super missile will break that open, and boom, you've got yourself more missiles. But yeah, we're not far from the end of the game. I picked this game as my second LP, partly because I was contrasting it to Star Fox Adventures, which, while it's a game I like, was relatively short and didn't have a lot of optional stuff to pick up that mattered. It's like there's really trying to say 100 that you can beat that game 100%. It's kind of pointless, because that means you beat the game. There's no optional things. There's optional things, but there's no real benefit to doing them or having them. It's just that's what it is. Now, we could go that way to Fendrana, but I don't think there's much there for us yet. What I want to do is to go this way. Now, power bomb will blow up the sides of this bridge. Not the bottom of it, just the sides. So you can jump down, go below it, and what do we have here? We have another beam combo. Yes, that's right, the Ice Spreader. Uses 10 missiles with the Ice Beam. Press and hold it. Undo that. It's kind of useful. It's not as useful as the super missiles are, or even potentially as the Wave Buster is. So that's kind of a letdown, I suppose, but it still looks really cool and cool ice. Oh. Hang on just a second. There is something else I want to do. It doesn't involve going to Phendrana, but involves going in that direction. Yes, I know you're shooting at me. No, I don't care. But what we do care about is the fact that we have power bombs now. And once we have power bombs, there's something we can do back in this room way back here where we got the other artifact. Okay. It looks like we're going to have to extend the bridge again. While we're getting shot at. Lovely. Lovely. You know what? Just because I feel like it, why don't we just show off our new power on these guys? That kinda didn't do a whole lot. So I'm just gonna show it off. It really shows its effect if you hit something not an enemy with it. It's the Ice Spreader, it spreads ice. That's about it. But if you do hit something directly with it, it is pretty powerful, and it is useful at one specific point. Later on. Much later on. Well, as much later on as you can really say is much later on, because, like I said, there's not a whole lot left. This... I guess I thought it would make for a long LP, but I guess I wasn't really thinking about it, because Metroid games are not necessarily known for being extremely long if you play them right. But it's still a good contrast, I think, in that you have a lot of extra things to go around and get. Now that once you have power bombs, you could blow up that little plate, which leads to a tunnel here that has a power bomb expansion. And that's always a nice thing to get. You're just kind of in this room here, and if you bomb your way to this little tunnel and drop out, we're right back where we were when I realized that there was something we missed. So we didn't really lose much at all. So, yep. With that, now we have a grapple beam. We can actually just swing our way across this room, and it's much faster. I feel like the grapple beam is probably one of my favorite items in the Prime series. I don't like it as much in Super Metroid. Looky here, me criticizing Super Metroid again. But no, I don't like it as much in that game because in order to use it, you have to switch off your weapons. And it's relatively useless as a weapon. But then... And then it kind of controls weird because you have to... I don't know, I feel like I'm just kind of whining, sort of, now, but I just prefer it here, in that just kind of how I see it. I'm more used to it in this incarnation, and that's about it. You can freeze those things with the ice beam. I haven't really mentioned yet, but yeah. Now, I believe here, somewhere in here, yes. I think we're coming upon what our next actual thing we need to do here is. I believe now that we have the power bombs and the grapple beam, I don't know if the X-ray visor is needed here or not, or if we need to use the X-ray visor somewhere else to get something else. That could potentially be it, and I'm just getting ahead of myself. But I think well, we can actually do something here. Now. Okay. This is a spinner. It's not its own scan, but basically what we have to do is activate these little pillar piston things, and this one has a spider ball track in it. That's important. Because you can't really jump up to that. But the spider ball track will let you kind of roll right up. And now you can get here. And this has a bomb slot. What does this bomb slot do? Raise the roof is what it does. And now you've got a pretty long spider ball puzzle here. I say puzzle, but just kind of it's kind of like platforming, except you're a ball and you're magnetically rolling along. It's kind of like that. Sir, that is not what you're supposed to do. I fell and I'm all disoriented. I don't even know how I'm supposed to get up to those things anymore. If this takes me too many tries, I'll probably speed it up, as usual, for me. But, yeah. Yeah, I guess while we're on the concept of games being long or short, or LPs being whatever, I suppose maybe next I'll go for a game that will actually make for a fairly more, I guess, potentially beefy series. That's a way of putting it. I don't want to do something too insanely long, I don't think. You can't really scan those here. I think they're just plated parasites. Whatever they are, they're annoying. Now, if you just stay in morph ball form there, you'll attach to that real easily. And you're just kind of rolling. See, there's the main track here, but these parts are magnetized too, so you don't actually have to stay on the main track. And here you go. Zoop, 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 zoop. And anyway, that gets you to the top of the room, which gives you this room here, which has something in it. This gives you... Yes, this gives you our final beam, the plasma beam. Switch C left. Oh, it'll open red doors. You get this really long, skinny arm cannon. It'll open red doors, and that's just kind of awesomeness, really. And it also does ridiculously good attack damage. And it has pretty decent range. Well, okay, it's a ranged weapon. It's going to go fairly far anyway, but that it gets you pretty good. You can hit from pretty quickly from pretty long distance. Let's test it in combat. It can also burn enemies, which I don't know if that does like prolonged damage in this game. It looks like it might. Yeah, it does. You only need one shot of the plasma beam to take one of these down if you have enough patience, but more is certainly not going to hurt the process. Also, if you damage them enough, you can actually just vaporize them and they won't even get to do their suicide attack. I'm just taking a lava bath. No reason. And also, I want to show off the collision detection here again, because why not? But yeah, I say we've done quite a bit this episode. We've explored around we went through the Chozo ruins a bit, and Magmore Caverns. We got ourselves a nifty new beam. I say, in the next episode, let's go up this elevator we're right here next to Phendrana, and see what this new plasma beam can really do in the land of ice and snow. We'll see you then. Until then, respond, vibrate, feedback, and resonate in the comments below. Tell me what you think I did right, what I did wrong, all that fun stuff. And that's about all I have to say, so have a good day, everybody. I really do want you to have a good day.